Hi guys, how you doing? So today we're going to be working on bases. Now I need to build some objective counters, but this is a great way of showing you how I built the other bases and what materials I used to do them. And if you remember a while back I did, or not so long ago, I did some Krieg heavy weapons teams on larger bases, but it looks like they were dragging stuff through the mud and there was earthworks and stuff like that. So we're going to try and replicate those today, but you can see the process of how it's done and where we go. So what am I going to use? I'm going to use PVA glue. Now I normally buy this in a large container because it lasts forever and it's only £4, and it's that much for PVA glue from Citadel Games Workshop, which is £5.10. You can get it cheaper. Go to your children's art stores and you can buy this stuff there. It's just as good, and plus you can eat it. Don't eat it. It's not made for eating, but you often see kids with this sort of stuff in their face. Okay, so I'm using that. Now what also I've done is I've got some sand, and I've also got some granite and slate and stuff mixed up there. You could use dirt if you wanted from the back garden. Just dry it out first of all, make sure there's no insects or earthworms in there. But I'm using sand, a bit of slate and some shells, crushed shells that you can get for your bird cages. And in here is fine plaster, which we'll be using to mix up with our PVA. So it's quite an easy process, so let's start first with the PVA. So crikey, that's done up tightly. I remember I did that tightly yesterday when I was tidying up my desk and trying to make it a little bit more presentable. Okay, so let's pour it in. There we go, that'll do. We're going for quite a bit there because I've got something else to do as well. Let's just try and keep it in that area. Let's just lean it there. And then we've got our fine plaster, which we're then gonna, I'm using a teaspoon because it's one of the old teaspoons, so I'm sure she won't mind that going missing. Put your plaster in 3 tablespoons full. Let's just move that over there. Take a mixing stick and just basically work that in. Keep working it, and what you want is a nice pasty consistency. You might have to add more PVA, as you go along, but it should soak up quite a bit. Let's just mix some more PVA in there. Yep. Okay. So that's good because we're looking for like a porridge-like consistency. Just get it right in there, spread it out. Get into those corners, those hard to reach corners. All in there. Let's get that stuff around there as well. Okay, so our sand and our PVA are going to be the bonding agent basically to the plaster. So that's good. Let's just put it out of the way. And let's put this lid back on so we don't sneeze or anything and knock it all over the place. Go. Now, so there's that stuff there. Always have a rag handy just so you can wipe your hands. Now you'll notice that I've sanded and I've scored the bases. Now this gives something for the plaster mix to hold on to, because when I first started doing it I didn't bother and you could just peel it off. So we need something for it to grab onto and to bond to. So that's why we've done all 3 bases like that. Now we're going to take our spoon, and we don't want too much, but we just want to put enough on there. It's like baking a cake, isn't it? You know, those little cupcakes you used to do as a kid at school, in home ec, or whatever it's called. It was just called cooking when I was younger. Oh dear me, that's a mess. Straight away I dropped it all over there. And we just want to get that on there. Right, I'll be back in a second once I clean my desk. Hi guys, okay, so welcome back. So we've cleaned up our desks. We're now going to clean up our bases. Okay, so it's up to us how we want to shape them. We've already started shaping this one. You can either have this as a hill or a mound of some sort. You can create all sorts of things. If you want to put some earthworks in there and, you know, make some craters, go ahead and do it. So if we just move that around there, so it's quite easily done. I mean, it's an easy process. You just got to be a little bit patient, realise that it's going to be very sticky and very messy. So try and tidy up your base as you go along, because the last thing you want is crap all over the sides and stuff. Okay, so we'll put that on there. Let's just quickly shape the other 2, because this stuff will start to dry. We'll start to build an outer shell quite quickly. So we just need to move that around there. And just flatten that down a bit. Oh, we've got a nice bit of slate in there. Nice big bit of slate in there. Same with the other side. Just squash that all down, just maybe to keep your base sides nice and tidy. And the same there. It is a messy job, so don't worry too much about that. Create some crater-like marks for water effects to go into. Go ahead and do it. Okay, so there's that. Just put that down there. Clean my hands. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a wet cotton bud and just clean around the edges, because what I don't want is loads of bits around there. I want that nice and tidy if I can. And so all of that I'll just wipe away, and we're going to do the same to the other ones. It's all over my fingers though, so it's a real pain. Should really wear gloves, but you know what, there's nothing like getting dirty and messy while you're working. At least you feel that you've achieved something. Okay. And the same with this one. Let's just get rid of that there. You'll find, because it's got a mix of PVA and plaster, it becomes very tacky quite quickly. Best way of drying these out is to stick them on the window during the day and let the sun have at them. You can speed it up by obviously using a hairdryer, but what you want to do is you want the moisture to evaporate from these quite quickly, and on a natural way of doing it as well. Too much heat too quickly will crack it. Okay, so that's those. Now, as I said, I need to build objective markers. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that. Okay, so I'm mounting it on there. So for the first one, I've already pre-built a nice little ammo pack and crate that can just sit in there like that. And let's just squeeze that down. It's nice that it's pushed it over a bit. What we can do is, oh sorry, not the camera there. Bring that around here, makes it easier for all of us. Take some of our slate that we've got, and we can just push that in there, and in there as well. And what we're going to do is, when this starts to dry, we're going to soak this in a PVA and water mix. So it's little things like little bits of detail that really add to these when you're creating bases. It's the tiny little things. Makes it really exciting. Okay, so there's that one. Let's just grab our next one. And we're going to attach that to, there we go, into this one. Okay, so I want to do something where we've got crates and stuff, so let's just squeeze that in there. That'll be sitting in there like that. I'm using the Krieg stuff because it's really lovely, some of these pieces. So we're just dressing the model, and bits of plastic that you can put in there just to give it a sense that there's more to it than just the boxes and the plaster. Let's put those into there. Some nice pieces of slate. Oh, that's a nice piece of slate. Just wet your cotton bud down. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to take, I don't know if you can see that, there we go. Take a rifle. There we go. So straight away, that's a lovely little diorama on a base, which you could actually use as objective markers, or you could actually put a figure on there. Okay, so we've got the last one to do, and I thought for this one we'd go a little bit different. So we could just, there you go, get that in there. I thought we could try and slip an oil drum in there somewhere. So let's just push down. So we've got our oil drum there. And then what we do is we just push up along the sides. And then we could look for some other bits and pieces to put on there. Maybe the crate's too big. Maybe some more plastic sticking out of there. And then maybe another backpack. And let's stick a rifle in there as well. And we'll glue these all in when the base is dry. But again, that's a lovely little diorama. There's a lot happening in it. And we have our slate in there as well. Finding some nice pieces really. Okay, so we're going to leave these to dry, and we'll come back to these a lot later once they're ready. Okay guys, I'll speak to you later. Hi guys, okay, so here we are. It's time to add PVA and water mix. Now we need this to be quite thick, but put a bit of water in there, but you still need to have a consistency that is like, I don't know, goo? I don't know, a bit thicker than milk. Yeah, just a bit thicker than milk basically. Okay, so be liberal with this. Paint it all onto the model, all the way around. We need it to soak all the way in. We're trying to build up a protective layer. It's a very boring way of doing this, There must be hundreds of other ways of doing it, but if you want to have those specialised bases that are a little bit different to everybody else's, this is a great way of doing it. Now, what you do is you take your cotton bud and you just soak up what you don't need that's sort of dangling off the edges. So there's that one. Let's just, oops, need to knock that off. Let's just reach over there and get rid of that. I'll do that there as well. And we've got to do the same on the other bases. Coat it all over. Don't be afraid to get it over stuff, because it just adds to the bond. And that's it. Brush that around there and around there like so. So we're really starting to get it in there now. They're starting to. That'll soak in. That'll build a hardened layer. That's what we want. And then we're going to do the same with this other one. And this will really help. Get it all over. Like I said, don't be afraid to get it over the plastic and stuff and all over the resin or whatever you're using, whatever bits and pieces you want to stick in there. That's it, get rid of those. Right, and then let's just bring that over there. Cotton buds. And then just go around the edges, clean that up. Up there, just making it nice and tidy. Need to soak up some of the stuff, don't worry, take it away. And the same around there. And we'll just do this one, just soak it up. That's a text message coming through, do apologise. Right, so we've got to leave these to dry, and then what we'll do is we'll do the next step, which is painting the bases up and doing all the detail to it. Okay guys, see you in a minute. Okay guys, so that has now dried, well it's semi-dried, so we're not going to do anything more to it actually for the moment. That really needs an over the night chance to sort of dry out, but that is how easy it is to do the bases. So if you look at that, I mean, it is that simple, and then it's all about the painting. So I'll come back to you in a second video where we start painting these in part 2, and that'll give us some idea of how we can make, well, give you some idea of how you can paint up the bases and what to add to it. So, you know, whether we want to do water effects, as I like to call it, the garnish. So we'll leave these overnight to dry, and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll start adding the garnish, which is a great word to use for when you're doing these sort of things. If anybody's interested, anybody's going to Warhammer World on April the 1st, which is Forge World Open Day. If you've not seen it yet, they've got 2 great figures for the day. One's like an arbiter with a mastiff for the 40k game, and the other's a skin wolf or something like that, fantasy. It's round, it's square base. I'm not interested in square base anyway. But we'll be going, obviously Marlius will be there, Chuffy, I'll be going with Kevin Case and Hazard Syndrome, and there'll be a few other people up there as well, so it'd be good if you see us, come and say hello. It'd be nice to meet you and talk to you about what armies you're going for and what you bought as well, so be prepared to be put on video camera. Okay guys, well I'm going to see you tomorrow in part 2 when we carry on this video, and have a nice night. See you later.